Welcome to Regenerative Change Lab's Voices from the Field. I'm your host, Brad Pierce, and we are here today, very lucky to have Tyler Kanczuzewski, who joined us from Cohort 2 at the Regenerative Change Navigation Leadership Program. Welcome, Tyler.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it. Glad to be
Yeah,
here.
it's great to have you here today. So let's just start, and why don't you tell us and our listeners a little bit about you and the work you do?
Thanks again for having me, and it was great being a part of the Regenerative Change Lab in this past cohort. My name's Tyler Kanczuzewski. I'm from South Bend, Indiana, which is pretty much right on the state line of Indiana, Michigan. And I work for two companies primarily, where I split time as the sustainability manager and team leader. One's a solar company called Inovateus Solar, and focuses on Midwest solar farms and big rooftop projects. We're more of like a builder, a designer, and we're called an EPC, engineer, procurement, and construction, in the world of solar, kind of like a general contractor for construction or homes. And then the other company, a very different industry, is called Logistic Inc., which our father started in the early 90s. And it's a freight securement company. So we have patented products to secure freight and semi-trailers, ocean containers, intermodal railroad containers, real niche products. So it's kind of fun. I two different industries, so juggling that day over day, and leading different sustainability teams and sustainability reporting, and trying to grow a culture of awareness and embracing ESG systems and responsibility, but also figuring out ways to be like leaner. And it's like, if it's better for the business, for the planet, and you can save money, and it's the triple bottom line, it's a huge win. So working on a lot of fun things, and also involved with some other like nonprofits and boards here regionally.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. Or is that maybe the next question? I'd love for you to share some sort of change project that you've been working on that you're most proud of recently.
Yeah. One big project on the personal side was and I don't know if we got to talk about this yet, was I finished grad school a couple years ago. I did an MBA with a sustainability focus, and put together basically this whole paper on reinventing waste and embracing more of a circular economy. And I turned it into a book and actually published a book, and it's called Reinvent Your Waste. And it officially became live last year. But I still been kind of on a mini book tour, and trying to share it with people through work and through my personal life. And I'm a recycling nerd, and I just like sharing stuff about recycling with people whenever I can. Like, even a wrapper or a cigarette butt has value to somebody, and just talking about that. So that's been a big change in my life. And then doing this course was a big change in my life as well. The Regenerative Change Lab, and learning new principles for living, and for my personal life and my work life, and learning just like a new way to balance things, and emotional well-being. I feel like I'm a pretty emotional person, and I'm a good emotional person. I'm a Pisces March, so sometimes we're seen as more emotional, and I do feel that in my work a lot. And so through this course, I think it gave me a lot of tools to like understand myself a lot better, and apply them to the work I'm doing.
Yeah, so are you finding that you're able to re-energize yourself and focus on the things that you need to at work that help sustain your own ability to drive performance and something
Yeah,
like yeah.
absolutely. I think the part where we look at the seasons, the four seasons, and I'm in an area where we do experience all four seasons. And I love the four seasons. But it's funny how it comes more of like you are more of an observer of the seasons, where this course and how we reviewed um, the seasons within ourselves, and allowing ourselves to season a little bit. It gave me a new perspective, especially like wintering, like allowing myself to, in some ways hibernate a little bit. It's not like I have to be on the go all the time. Just one simple thing that gave me a great new perspective. Um, and yes, I think in terms of the emotional input or outputs, I think I've gotten a little bit better, almost like a meditative mindset, where it's like I'm able to quickly like see from an outside perspective of myself, like allow the executive part of my brain to be like, wait, hold on a second.
Mm.
Don't dive too deep into this or get too emotional over this. Like, just take a breather, um,
Mhm.
and kind of rejuvenate and regenerate yourself a little bit.
Excellent. So yeah, stepping outside your brain, where we spend so much time during the day, right, in busy lives, and part of what we do is try to, we simplify, we embody, and we operationalize regenerative change. And so what I'm hearing you say, I think, is the embodiment piece as well, is getting outside your brain and allowing yourselves to feel your emotions and be in tune with your emotions and your gut and your intuitions that can serve you. They're there to serve you, and they have messages all day long. They're telling you things, and we often neglect them or ignore them. And so I'm hearing you say that, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
the uh, the part where we look at like the horizons and where we're at in terms of above the line, at the line, or below the line, I think was another just big eye opener for me, and brand new perspective on where I'm at day to day. And as some days you have more energy or less energy, and or we're working on certain projects at work or at home. And I think just kind of knowing where you're at in terms of that horizon is good, just to not to be so hard on yourself too, and
Mm.
be like your own coach a little bit. And or
Yeah.
if you're working with a team, be a coach for others, and try to be a little bit more positive and uplifting. And
Are
um,
you are you noticing a difference then? So for listeners, the above the line, below the lines, the conscious leadership group, we borrowed that, as we do with many of the different tools and frameworks we offer for people, and we reference them. But being below the line is where most, I think, 65%, 70% of leaders are what's called below the line. It's a place of reactivity, which oftentimes stimuli of different sorts, and we're reacting to in our leadership positions. And then above the line is when you're being more conscious and more creative, coming from a creative place. And that takes a certain sort of self-awareness and inner anchor balance to be able to be there and pull others also around you above the line. So, Tyler, you're saying that you're being in this place, or at least recognizing where you are. Are you noticing a difference in how people are reacting to you, or are showing up around you when you feel you're either above or below the line?
yeah, I think it feels like there's just more positive momentum when you're above the line. And yeah, it's maybe less emotional in nature. People are less defensive. um, it's almost just like it's more collaborative, and it is more refreshing. It feels better. It feels right. When things are more clicking, and people aren't getting defensive or offensive about things, and it just feels like more like a team. We're in it together, and it just more positive in nature.
Mm. That's good, especially in a demanding industry like solar, where there's increasing demand and increasing expectation to deliver and deploy these solutions out in the field
Yeah,
with then supply chain issues and all that kind of.
yeah, we've really been in a solar boom this decade. 2020 to 2030 was going to be seen as the biggest growth period for solar, and we're right in the middle of it. So, and
Hmm.
yeah, the company Inovateus Solar is definitely crazy busy, and it's easy to be reactive, and it's nice to be able to help people uh, be a little bit more proactive, or more strategic in the projects we're working on, and or the way we're working on the projects too, and our systems and processes. Um, and same at logistic, freight securement, that it's been more affected by the economy and COVID. Uh, Basically, if goods are moving around the country, logistic does pretty well because they're secure in freight. But as the economy slows down, or things like COVID happen, it definitely has its impacts, and can shake up the business, and um, you know, people can get stressed out, and so I think learning how to understand myself better using these tools, and then work with the teams. It's especially at my level, working with the sustainability teams, it's allowed us to be much more efficient, and I think a big thing to me is having fun and making sure we're really doing what we love, and we're having fun, working hard, but also having some fun. And
Yeah. There's joy. There's joy in using living systems, because especially working for a solar company where people are mission aligned, I think, around helping the planet, and so I'm interested in hearing a little bit about that. That's sort of the last question, is how you're applying what you've learned in the three areas that we're measuring now around well-being, which is really about the self, your own inner well-being, relationships with others, your groups, your teams, your organization, and performance of the larger system. Oftentimes that has to do with your organization or even industry. And so I've already heard you talk about your improvement in well-being, your own, how you're showing up, and self-awareness, and choosing to be more creative, above the line, et cetera. I've heard you talk about the relationships and the teams you're working with, the language, and having fun. Really just sort of enjoying the living system. Was there a living systems principle specifically that really stood out when it comes to relationships?
um, I'd say not anyone in particular stands out. Um, I think they all are so good, I'm a nature lover, so it's hard to pick and choose, because like it's all so valid, and makes so much sense. All the graphics that you guys show, and
Hmm.
are just, they bring a lot of joy to me, and just seeing new models, because that I and even in business school not long ago, a lot of things are just black and white. And I just love the simple things, like when we're going through all the principles, like adding color to things is like just one simple thing, like um and
Hmm.
levels. I mean, because there is a lot of complexity in our living systems, and a lot of layers to it. And I think you do a great job at showing all those layers and complexities and colors in a fun way, not in a
Mm.
not in a complex, confusing way. Uh, More in a, just like, wow, life is crazy, work is crazy, but it's also beautiful, and
Mm.
I want to continue learning, and doing a better job, um, internally and externally. And one thing that I think really stands out to me is like that drama triangle,
Hmm.
um, which people will learn about, and kind of realizing when you're in that, and trying to yeah, get out of the drama triangle, I guess, essentially, right? Or not play victim, or or
Yeah.
or the hero, or because I think it's really easy to get sucked into those.
It's easy in solar, especially to feel all of those, right? So you can be the hero. I'm saving the world. I'm saving the planet by bringing solar to the world and helping, improve, renewable energy, electrification. And then suddenly, the government has regulations or it's not working so well. And so then you're the victim of the regulations or, the villain when you say like,
Yeah,
stick it to them. And so, you spend time in all three of those, even in a single day, and the energy that it drains from you in spending time there. And again, how do you get out of that below the line kind of reactivity and move into above the line? Yeah, thanks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really it just the whole course spoke well to me. I already had practiced a lot of different things, and like just meditation and mindfulness. I've gotten really big into over the years, and doing this course with you guys. I just loved how we would start off with a quick breather and a quick meditation because I notice it so often where a lot of us go into meetings stressed out or running from one meeting to the next, and carrying some tension, and then that tension leads into maybe an ineffective meeting. And if we had just started off with a quick reset breather, uh, the meeting probably would have been way more efficient, and we would all enjoyed it more. And
Hmm.
so just like a lot of great tools that I'm gonna take with me, and look forward to maybe doing another cohort down the road with you guys.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks. We'd love to have you come back and bring a few of your colleagues with you.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah,
absolutely.
thanks. Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I really enjoyed time with you and getting to know you, and I know you offered a lot of valuable perspectives and insights in cohort two. So appreciate that.
Thanks, Brad, and send my thanks to Cynthia as well, and the rest of the cohort. It was great meeting everybody, and connected with a lot of them through email and LinkedIn, and as well as on our platform Sutra, um, which is a really cool platform. So I look forward to staying connected with everybody.
Yeah, stay tuned. We have a campfire coming up. You'll hear about that soon. Get
Oh
everybody
yeah,
back together. Yeah.
look forward to it.
All right. Take care.